morning, 4th and 5th grade. It's Mrs. Erickson. I am missing you guys. Today will be a little fun. We're going to do an experiment to show a chemical reaction or a chemical change. Hopefully you watched the video yesterday. So today we're going to be giving an example of what you watched in that video. So today's experiment is called a bromothymol blue respiration experiment. I know it sounds too long, but it should be fun. It's very visual. You'll be able to see the chemical change happen right before your eyes, kind of like a magic trick. But first things first, safety. I'll be putting these on in case something happens. All right. First, the bromothymol blue is used to test pH levels. Now, pH level is a term that they use saying what is the measure of how acidy something is, or if it's more neutral or basic, like water. So the range of the pH level is from 0 to 14. And 7, so pretty much in the middle, is known as the neutral in that range. So foods like lemon, that's a 2. It's pretty it's acidy, right? Or water is a 7 to an 8. So it has a little bit of a range depending on what is inside the water. And so that is one of the reasons why your dentists say to limit foods like lemons or tomatoes, because they have a lot of acid in it, and that acid hurts your teeth enamel, and the white part on your teeth, that is what gets affected by eating acidy foods, coffee as well. So that is a little trivia. Make sure to brush. So what we are going to do, this bromothymol blue is current pH level is a 7.6. It should be blue. Let's pour some in a cup. This looks good. I'll take this thing off. All right, let's see. Looks kind of icky. Can you see the coloring? I do actually have some pH test strips right here. So let's make sure that it is at a more neutral state and has less of an acid in it right now, currently. So we're just gonna dip one of these guys in. The water will seep up, and hopefully these little pH strips will tell me the coloring. Looks like a 7 to me. See how it turned nice and yellow? And you could see the range right there, 7. So this current solution of bromothymol blue is at a 7, which is great. So that is the pH level currently. So when it's more of a blue color, that is when it's at its neutral state, right? But what if we add another chemical component? So we're going to do that. So let's try to add a chemical component that I'm making in my body right now. What could that be? Oh, you guessed it. So carbon dioxide, right? We're all making it right now. I have plenty of it. So do you. We're going to be adding our very own carbon dioxide to the mix. What carbon dioxide actually is, or CO2, I don't know if that's backwards for you, but CO2, so there's one carbon atom, and this O means oxygen, and there's 2 oxygen atoms, right? So that is what we are adding to this chemical. So I can create a chemical change or reaction by mixing both CO2, bromothymol blue together, right? And how I'm going to do that is just take this, glasses back on, they're a little dirty, so I can see. Just a regular old straw. I'm going to be blowing my carbon dioxide bubbles into this solution, and we're going to see if there's a chemical reaction or a chemical change that happens when I mix these two together, okay? All right, so it's a neutral, but once we mix the CO2, we'll see if it changes at all. Don't do this at home unless you know how to blow bubbles pretty good in your milk. All right, here we go. Do you see the blue turning more to a yellow? Watch the bubbles. They were blue. Now look. See how it changed color? So now let's test it with our pH little stick here and see if I changed it at all. Adding carbon dioxide. Go in, it'll go. Hopefully there'll be a difference in color. We shall see. It's supposed to be 30 seconds, so we'll give it a little bit of time. But do we see the difference within the solution here? Right? So I put more acid by adding my carbon dioxide into this bromothymol blue. So now it changed completely in color. That is different, right? Can we see it? So this yellow color indicates that the solution has more acid in it. I changed the pH level, it looks like, to a 6, because this is more orange. I don't know if you could see it. So it's more, not a 7, it's more of a 6 color now. So I changed it a full 1 for go from 7 to a 6, and I made it change complete color just by adding in my carbon dioxide to the mix, right? So you can see the difference. And since it is a gas that I'm adding, this will escape. The gas, it's not being held down into this, so it'll be released into the air, and this solution will go back to being a blue neutral once all of the carbon dioxide has left the liquid. So maybe in a little bit I'm going to pop back on and I'll show you that it changed from this lovely yellow back to its original neutral state of a bluer tone. All right, so we just showed a chemical change or reaction by mixing two chemical compounds together, and the effect was that we created a more acidy solution, right? We will have a couple more experiments to show a chemical change next week. You guys can also come up with your own. There's always good ones to look up online. I will also be providing some different links to ones that you can, some experiments that you can conduct at home. And we'll check back in and see if the blue color has returned after a little bit. Stay tuned.